Hey, so I think it's a basic life skill to know how to start seeds. And over the years, I've experimented with different ways on how to do it. And I find the simplest and easiest way is to just start off simple and grow from there. As always, if there's something that you see in this video that does or doesn't work for you, please feel free to comment down below. I think it's really important that within the gardening community, whether it be indoors or outdoors, we all learn from one another and adapt what other people have done through their own trial and error into our methods, or to learn and grow from others' mistakes. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's start some seeds.
The seeds I am using are heirlooms because I am currently challenging myself to learn the art of seed saving. Let's get to business. The notebook will help later in the process. I'm using a can of cocoa blend and perlite as my germination mix. I chose this blend because I had all of these products on hand and they are biologically inactive until rehydrated with light. This means no fungus gnat infestations since the seedlings will live in my greenhouse cabinet. Now, technically speaking, most bag mixes should be free from gnats. But if there's a slight rip or tear in the bags then become a perfect breeding ground, and so will my cabinet. I count how many cells I have length and width-wise so that I can draw out a map of all the varieties I'm planting. Markers could replace this process, but my almost 2-year-old loves to play with them. I use the tip of my pencil to create little nests where I'll place the seeds. I'll fill each hole with 2 to 3 seeds and then mark each name for the corresponding cell on my map. It doesn't have to be a crazy alphanumeric system. I just write the full name in the box and abbreviate the rest of the cells, and then draw arrows if I'm doing the same variety in more than one container. This is what it looks like at the end. To fill the substrate with life and a microdosed amount of nutrients, we then use water from our fish tank to rehydrate our substrate. Seeds are packed with nutrients to jumpstart their little plant motors, so I'm not too worried about fertilizing at this point. The fish tank water alone is the perfect balance to sustain their growth over the next month. This is called hydrophobia, and it's a water-repelling characteristic of any bone-dry soil-like material. Because this media is completely dry, these containers are floating on the water. If this happens to you, don't worry, give it time, and the wick effect will take place and the containers will sit flat. The greenhouse cabinet we upcycled is the perfect incubator for these little babies. 19 days later, and we have sprouts. They look great, and up until this point, other than occasionally watering them, I've had to do very little. Because almost everything germinated, it's now time to separate cells with multiple sprouts and make a new map. Each individual sprout is now in its own container, and this will be my future fall garden. Here I'm taking some lettuce and bok choy sprouts, and I'm gently massaging the grow media out of the root systems and then gently pulling them apart so I can transfer them to our aquaponic grow bed in leca net pots. If you're doing something like this, I would highly recommend to also place them in water in between the process of separating them and putting them in their forever home because you don't want their baby little root systems to dry out. A benefit to planting lettuce and bok choy in our indoor aquaponic grow bed is that we will have access to delicious greens in the middle of summer when these are typically cold weather crops. Today it was 105, and if I were to try to grow this outside within the next month, they would either fry and die or get bitter and seed. Because they'll be acclimated to 24/7 nearly ideal conditions and have absolutely no tolerance to UV rays, I'll most likely start hardening them off in about 4 weeks for the great outdoors. Almost everything planted in our little suburban garden was started this very same way. Started from seed in can of cocoa, watered with fish tank water, incubated in our indoor greenhouse cabinet, and gradually acclimated to the beds we so lovingly built with biodiversity. We just cleaned out our entire aquaponic grow bed so we could start fresh and create content around how to grow aquaponically. Stay tuned as we grow our home and our channel.